What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Trophy Room Podcast. I'm your host, your boy Nick, back at it again. What's going on, everybody? Back at it again with another episode 7 in the mix. I'm so glad to be doing this with y'all. For everybody that's watching, thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all go like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel, follow on all social media platforms, man. Episode 7, man, we got a big one coming. Hopefully y'all was able to watch episode 6. Episode 6 was great. Talked about first week NFL football. I'm definitely going to talk about NFL football every week. I'm going to give my predictions, let y'all know what's going on. I'll give y'all a little background about my fantasy team going. I got 4 leagues going on right now. I am 1-3, unfortunately, but it's only week 1. It's all about the bounce back, baby. Let's get it. But before I do get into this NFL topic, I do want to start off with a little bit of basketball topic. The World Cup has finally ended. Germany did win, went out with the gold, beating Team Serbia 83-77 for the gold medal game. Dennis Schroeder, 28 points. Franz Wagner, 19 points. They really showed out this tournament, man. The German national team, they played really well. You had a couple games. Mo Wagner was in there. They had a couple other German guys. But the real main guy was Dennis Schroeder, man. Dennis Schroeder really showed out in this World Cup. And just to talk a little bit about the Serbian national team, you had Bogdan Bogdanovic for the Atlanta Hawks, had 17 points. Another guy, he didn't even lead the team in points. The next guy, Alexa Aramovic, he led the team with 21. He was really killing it. He was a 6-man coming off the bench. So the starters really, when I was watching the game, the starters, they played pretty well. I don't know what that was. The starters played really well, so it was pretty good. But then when he came in, he just started lighting it up. So it was good, but then Germany started to run away with it at the end, and Germany ended up coming out with the gold. Just to talk about the bronze medal game, U.S. versus Canada. It was a tough game, but unfortunately, U.S. did not get a medal, which is crazy, but that'll lead into the next piece. But yeah, Canada ended up winning 127-118 against Team USA in overtime. Mikal Bridges missed a free throw and drove it out to the 3-point line, hit a 3 to tie the game, send it into OT. That was a great game. It was fun to watch. Dylan Brooks, man, 39 points, really showing his two-way ability, really showing what he's hoping to bring to the Rockets next year. He looked really comfortable shooting the ball. He looked comfortable scoring. Obviously, we all know what he can do on the defensive end and stuff like that. So I'm pretty excited to see what he does. He got his big contract. He got a good amount on this young Rockets team. Obviously, aside from everything that's going on with Kevin Porter Jr., we'll see what happens with that. He's probably on his way out the league. Yeah, because we don't take none of that woman beater stuff. Absolutely not. But yeah, man, Dylan Brooks, 39 points. And then the main guy for Canada, who's been really the bright spot for this team, is a bright and consistent player for this team, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, man. SGA, 31 points and 12 assists. So SGA was really able to get himself going, contribute on the offensive end, and be able to get all his teammates involved, which I thought was great. And then just from the USA side, Austin Reeves, 23 points. And then Anthony Edwards led the team in 24 points. So even though U.S. did not get a medal, they're still qualified to play in Paris next year for the Olympics, which really segues into my next piece. Is LeBron committed to playing for Team USA for 2024 Paris Games, man? LeBron coming back to the Olympic stage, I think that's going to be huge for Team USA. Hopefully guys like Steph Curry play, Kevin Durant, my guy, Bam Adebayo, I'm hoping for. But yeah, man, it's going to be a doozy. And, just to sprinkle this into that little NBA news going on, training camp starts in 3 weeks. They say that Damian Lillard talks between the Miami Heat and the Portland Trail Blazers are happening again. So I understand. You never know. They're probably going to take a while to figure out a trade like this, but it's honestly, man, I'm excited. I just can't. I just want it to happen already. It's really one thing that everybody's been looking forward to, just Dame going to Miami and getting all this trade stuff over with all the hypotheticals and stuff like that. Joe Cronin is really bugging me right now. But yeah, so I just hope the trade happens soon, man, because they're talking about we can sign Kelly Oubre Jr. So I think that's gonna be a really good addition to the team, especially for what we're about to lose. So I feel like that's gonna be a good addition for Miami. And then obviously Damian Lillard. I just want the talks to be over. I want him to be in South Beach. Him, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and then we'll see what the rest of the team looks like. All right, y'all. On to the next topic, and then this is the big topic of the show, man. NFL Week 2 is here, man. I'm gonna give a little bit of background about what happened in Week 1. Talk about talk about some of the top performers in Week 1. And then I gotta talk about my Jets, man. And then I'll get into my Week 2 predictions this week. To go over what happened last week, Aaron Rodgers, 75 seconds, tears his Achilles for the New York Jets, man. It does suck, especially being a Jet fan myself. It sucks, man, because the future was so bright. Some people had Super Bowl aspirations. I just wanted to make the playoffs, to be honest. I know I joke around with some people talking about, oh, yeah, Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl. Nah, man, I really just wanted to get out of this playoff drought. But with Aaron Rodgers going down, it is a huge loss. Like, big loss, man. It sucks. But I know a lot of people were talking about if we're going to stay with Zach Wilson as the QB, or if we want to go out and sign somebody else. Honestly, I wanted to lean signing somebody else because, to be honest, I don't have a lot of faith in Zach Wilson. But I saw a couple videos of some of the guys talking to him during the Week 1 game, trying to put some confidence in the kid. So I think if you can get that from a great group of players like the guys on the New York Jets, man, with those guys surrounding Zach Wilson, giving him the confidence, and also having a top 3 defense that's definitely going to help you during the year. I think it'll help. So after seeing some of the videos and seeing what's going on, I think I would like to ride Zach Wilson out for the rest of the year, see how he looks, especially because I think this is the last year of his deal. So give him one last, like, not hoorah before we cut him, but like see what happens if he's gonna be able to, like, maybe bring us to the playoffs, win us a couple close games, see what happens, and see if we're able to re-sign him for a cheaper deal next year, whether we have Aaron Rodgers or not. Whether we try to go out and get somebody else, we'll see what happens. And just to talk about my Week 1 top performers, I got a couple guys on here. I have 2 QBs, a running back, and 1 team. My team that I have to shout out to my top performers is I got the Cowboys defense, man. Obviously, they won 40-0. 40-0 against the New York Giants. Just to shout out the Cowboys defense, man. They had 12 quarterback hits, 7 sacks. They had 2 big 4th down stops, 2 interceptions, a fumble recovery, 2 touchdowns, and a blocked kick. I understand people say it's the New York Giants, like that Daniel Jones, honestly, those people are me because I do say stuff like that. But when you look at this Cowboys defense, man, it was like, they looked like they were having the time of their lives out there. Like, they made it look so easy. Michael Parsons was able to get to the quarterback. Like I was raving about, Trayvon Diggs had really good help from Stephon Gilmore. Their corners looked good. The secondary was okay. Like, they just, like, that Cowboys defense, man, looks so solid. Unfortunately, they do have to play the Jets this week. I'm hoping it doesn't turn into another blowout like with the Giants. So just a blowout 2 New York teams, that would kind of suck. Plus, I also want to be part of this game. Even if we did have Aaron Rodgers, I still had the Jets losing to the Cowboys in my opinion. So it's not like this game is really gonna be like, oh my god, like I can't believe we lost. Like, nah, I had us losing even with Aaron Rodgers because the O line is still working out some kinks, and that defense is just too great, man. That Cowboys defense is so good. That's why they're one of my top one. That's why they're one of my top performers in Week 1. My next top performer I have is Tua Tagovailoa, man, quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. He really showed out against that Chargers defense, man. I know the Chargers defense is really not something to rave about, but like Chargers have really big aspirations. Oh my god, the Chargers have really big expectations this year to make that jump. Justin Herbert, everybody talks about he's a top 5, top 3 quarterback in the league. I have him at top 10. I think I had him at the number 7 spot. But still, like when you look at the team that they have, like they should be able to make some noise. But Tua, man, Tua looked great. 466 yards, 3 touchdowns. He had 1 interception. He threw 28 for 45, threw 62% of his passing completes. Like he was chopping it up. He was chopping up the defense, man. He looked really well. Shout out to Tua, man. The Dolphins are definitely going to be somebody to be reckoned with. Just like a little Week 1 overreaction with the way that we lose. With the New York Jets losing Aaron Rodgers, the way the Buffalo Bills looked last week after that loss against New York Jets, and Patriots losing to the Eagles. I mean, the Patriots defense did look kind of good. So just a little overreaction. Miami could win this tough division that's really been the Buffalo's division to lose the past like 4 or 5 years. But they could. The Miami Dolphins could win this division, man. It's gonna be a fun time. The next QB I have is one of the guys I really wasn't high on, but I do got to give him a lot of love. Is Jordan Love against the Chicago Bears? Jordan Love, 245 yards, 3 touchdowns, 15 for 27 on throws, through 55% of his passes completed. He did get a lot of help from Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones looked like a stud last week. Hopefully he plays this week. We'll see what happens. But Jordan Love was definitely being a game management. He was game time management. He was throwing the right ball. He was throwing the right passes, making the right reads. He really impressed me last week. Obviously, I got to see more. With me, I got to see everything at a consistent basis. But he did look really good last week. So shout out to Jordan Love, man. You definitely proved me wrong. Well, for now, let's see what happens this week. And like I said, as long as it continues throughout the season, obviously everybody's gonna have their highs, their lows. But if Jordan Love can keep this up, man, I don't see why the Packers won't have a good year. Not like when they had Aaron Rodgers, but you get what I'm saying. And then the last player I want to shout out, man, Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey showing up for the 49ers, man. 22 carries, 152 yards on the ground, 1 touchdown. He had 3 receptions for 17 yards. Christian McCaffrey, I'm hoping he stays healthy because if he can produce then these kinds of numbers day in and day out, as long as McCaffrey's healthy, he's going to be an amazing piece to the San Francisco 49er offense. You saw what Brandon Ayuk did in Week 1. He killed. He was basically Brock Purdy's number 1 target. Brock Purdy, another game-time manager. He didn't really do like all the flashy stuff, but he did his part. Read the reads he needed to, threw touchdown passes, and just like was just the quarterback that they needed. He did his job, especially with the way the defense is, the way they were able to craft up who did the Steelers, though. The way they were able to craft up that defense, and the Steelers defense is no joke, man. The Steelers defense is no joke, but when Brock Purdy was able to do what he did, like I gotta give a shout out to Brock Purdy too, and obviously shout out to Christian McCaffrey. He really did his thing against the Steelers, man. And like I said, the Steelers are really no joke to be played with this year. Like the Steelers are a really good team. Well, not really good team, but I'm talking about the defense. Like the defense is really good. Obviously, there are a lot of questions surrounding Kenny Pickett, but when you talk about Kenny Pickett, he should be okay. I think he's gonna have a bounce back game. Going against that Niner defense is hard. He did throw for a touchdown, but hopefully he improves. So we'll see what happens with that. But on to the next part of this NFL segment, man. Week 2, I got my predictions here. I got the list of games going on, man. I'm definitely gonna talk about each individual game a little bit. I'll give y'all my predictions. I'll probably do a little TikTok at the end. And yeah. So week 2 game predictions on Thursday night. Last night I had, it was Vikings Eagles. I obviously had the Eagles winning that game in my opinion. The Vikings defense is not really something to be raved about, but Kirk Cousins did play really well. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Kirk Cousins played well. Who's the tight end? Hawkinson? No. Yeah, Hawkinson scored 2 touchdowns. He threw a touchdown to KJ Osborne. Um Yeah, and then talk about from the Eagles side, man. The Eagles defense looked okay. Not really what they looked like in week 1, but they looked pretty good. They looked really similar. Um, excuse me. I saw somebody tweet this. The Eagles are 2-0 and they haven't looked their best. So just wait, and I feel like just wait until they really get into the groove of things with this Eagles team. Jalen Hurts has been okay the past 2 games, almost losing to the they played last week. The Pats. Patriots, like I said before, Patriots defense looked really good. Um, but now, man, shout out to the Eagles. The Eagles are gonna be great. The Eagles are gonna have a really good year. I think I got them. I have them winning the Super Bowl because they're just so well rounded, and like they're just a fun team to watch. Like you can't stop Jalen Hurts quarterback sneak. So you want to block him from running. If you block him from running, that gives him more time in the pocket as a passer. It definitely gives him more opportunities to throw the ball. And he's not a bad thrower. Like he's a really good. He can throw the deep ball. He can throw the short route. He can throw not short route, short passes. But you know what I meant. Like when you look at the Eagles, man, like they're just so well rounded. Their defensive line, I understand they lost a couple pieces, but like they got some great rookies in there. There, you got Smitty, AJ Brown. Oh, talk about week 1. I mean, talk about Thursday night football. DeAndre Swift got more touches last night, and he absolutely killed. I don't remember his stat line. I know he had 100 plus yards, and he had a running touchdown. But yeah, man, with Kenny Galladay injured, didn't play last night. Rashad Penny got some snaps last night, but D Swift looked like the main guy. And I feel like that's what it should be throughout this season. I think DeAndre Swift should be the clear number 1 running back for the Philadelphia Eagles. And it'll make so much more sense, in my opinion. And like this Eagles team is just really good, man. Just really good. So on to this weekend, man. Week 2 NFL. Just to start out with some of the afternoon games. Sunday afternoon, 1 p.m. game. The Ravens and the Bengals. Both quarterbacks need a bounce back from week 1. Lamar didn't look that good, even though they came out with the victory. Obviously, Joe Burrow, I don't expect him to do what he did in week 1 again. The weather was really bad. And just a shout out to the Browns defense. You have guys like Miles. You have a guy, Miles Garrett. You had Denzel Ward, who was playing really well. Like the Browns defense is no slack, but the weather. I feel like the weather definitely had its effect on Joe Burrow, man. So I don't see Joe Burrow having a week like that. I still have. Where's my pen? I still have the Ravens winning this game, in my opinion. And I also feel like the Bengals are more of a second half of the schedule team. We've seen a lot of how they turn their seasons around and stuff like that. So even though the Bengals I got losing, Even though I have the Bengals losing, I don't see another performance like that happening by Joe Burrow. Especially getting that money he just got. I don't think that's going to happen. But I got the Ravens winning that game. To talk about Seahawks Lions, I got to take the Lions, man. I got the Lions winning this game mainly because the Seahawks did not look good last week. They lost to the Rams, but another thing, just talk about the Lions real quick. They looked really good. Well, actually, they looked good. They didn't even look at their best, and they beat the Kansas City Chiefs. I understand Kansas City Chiefs losing, not having Chris Jones, not having Travis Kelce is huge, but when you look at this Lions team, like I said, they're coming off a win in Kansas City, so they're playing in Seattle, and like they're like, oh wait, no, I think the Lions are at home. Lions are at home, yeah. So coming off that win is definitely huge, and then Seattle losing at home to the Rams, I think, is also huge for them too. The offense really didn't look as smooth as it should be. Um, Tyler Lockett getting an injury. They have a couple other injuries there too, but I think it'll still be a close game. But I definitely do have the Lions winning this game. Next game, I got Colts Texans. This is mainly off of favoritism, honestly. I got the Colts winning this game because I love Anthony Richardson. I think he's going to be that dude. In the first week, I know they lost the game, but you definitely saw flashes of what he's able to do. He looked like a good quarterback. He made some great reads. Um, he looked good on the run game, all that. And the Texans, I'm just really low on the Texans in my opinion. But I got the Colts winning this game. Bears Bucks. Honestly, yo, I got the Bears winning this game. Not just to feed my agenda, because I do have a Bears agenda. I have the Bears winning this division, but Bucks need to be humbled, man. In my opinion, they when it comes to the Bucks, like they looked good last week. They came out with the win. I didn't expect them to win. Baker Mayfield looked okay. Mike Evans played great, but I'm not saying that the Bears defense is something to rave about. But DJ Moore had 2 catches, which was not all that. Like, you got to throw him the ball more. Chase Claypool has significantly downgraded. I'm hoping he can make a bounce back too. Justin Fields didn't have that great of a game, but he's definitely going to want to be better. So, yeah, I mean, I got the Bears winning this game, but I don't see why the Bucks won't win. Why the Bucks can't win. Like, the Bucks are not a scrub team. The Bucks are not bad. Like, they're gonna be a good team to watch. Two, I think it's just gonna be a close game, but I am leaning the Bears in my opinion. Talking about the Chiefs Jags, that's gonna be a really good game, but I gotta go with the Jags. The Jags looked really great last week. Calvin Ridley played a great game. Trevor Lawrence looked good. The defense looked pretty good too. And I understand when it comes to the Chiefs, like you're getting Travis Kelce back, you're getting Chris Jones back. Kadarius Toney will definitely play better. As bad as he played as bad as he played on Thursday night, I definitely think he's gonna bounce back, especially because Travis Kelce's coming back. So there's not a lot of pressure on him. So I think he's gonna have a great game. I think he's gonna play a lot better. Sky Moore, Isaiah Pacheco, Jerick McKinnon. I think they're like the overall Kansas City is gonna have a good game. Like they're gonna play well, but I got the Jags because the Jags are so like the Jags I feel like are like the Chargers. They have a lot of expectations this year. Trevor Lawrence is gonna make that next jump. Like I said, Calvin really looked like a number one out there. Zay Jones had a touchdown looking like the number three. They had Christian Kirk going to be good. Travis Etienne, Evan Ingram. I don't know, man. I love the Jags. Like, I think the Jags are gonna be really good. But I don't. Again, this is another game where I can't. Like I would not be surprised if the Chiefs won. In my opinion, it's gonna be a close game, and I think it's gonna be a shootout. Okay. On to the next game. I got Packers Falcons. That's tough. Two middle of the pack teams. I think I gotta go with the Falcons. Nope. Nope. I gotta go with the Packers. I don't trust Desmond Ritter. Plus, the Packers have the better defense. Even if Aaron Jones doesn't play, AJ Dillon is not a running back to be slept on. I think he's pretty good. Um, Especially when Aaron Jones has been injured I think it was last year and the year before when there was no Aaron Jones. AJ Dillon became the number one running back. He played really well. And I don't trust this Falcons offense, man. Like Drake London and Kyle Pitts are not being used to what they're not being used as much as they should be. I understand Algier is great. I understand the hype around Bijan, but like you gotta spread the wealth. And to limit your quarterback in Desmond Ritter so that way he can't make mistakes, like I think is crazy. Like I think you gotta let the kid loot. Like some of them, like you gotta let them make their mistakes. I understand you want to win football games, but when it comes to certain people, especially at certain positions, like the young guys, like sometimes you just gotta let them go. Like you gotta trust them. Like you drafted him for a reason. You named him your QB1 for a reason. Like I say the same thing about the Jets and Zach Wilson. I think Robert Saleh has to like let Zach go a little bit. Like he's got to let him be able to throw the ball. He's got to let him be able to make some mistakes. Like I understand you want to win games, but like you got to let the kid throw the ball sometimes. Same thing with the Falcons. Like you got to let Desmond Ritter. You got to let him play, coach. So, but yeah, the Packers have a way better defense. Like I said, even if Aaron Jones doesn't play, um, we'll see what happens with Christian Watson. We'll see what happens with Christian Watson. We'll see what happens with Romeo Dobbs. But yeah, I got the Packers winning this game. Next game of the Sunday 1 p.m. There's Bills Raiders. I gotta go with the Bills, man. Obviously, Josh Allen definitely needs to bounce back. I've definitely seen it where Josh Allen will lose a game and then he'll rattle off like 6, 7 wins in the next couple of games. So, and the Bills are just like, as much as I am a Raider fan, like I'm realistic. Devontae Adams is hurt. He might not play this weekend. Jacoby Myers is still in concussion protocol. They said that what's his name? Jimmy Garoppolo is hurt again, which like I'm not shocked, but like the Bills are just an overall better team. So I'm gonna go with the Bills. And then the last game I got of the Sunday 1 p.m. is Chargers Titans. I don't know. The Chargers looked pretty good last week. The Titans looked pretty good too, even though the Titans lost. The only thing I didn't like about the Titans was did they win last week? I don't think so. No, I don't think so. But just to talk about the Titans real quick, I didn't like how Derrick Henry was sharing snaps with the other running back. I forgot his name. But Derrick Henry not getting most of the workload last week, I thought was a little bit crazy. In my opinion, what was that? Like I said, Derrick Henry not getting the workload, in my opinion, I thought was nuts. Oh, they lost to the Saints. They lost by 1 point. But still, like them, like I don't know. When it comes to the Titans, I'm not high on them. But like I said, not playing Derrick Henry like that much, especially when he's been the main focal point of your offense, I thought was nuts. But especially after the performance that the Chargers did last week. I was talking about Miami, talk about the Chargers real quick. They really kept up with them. It was a shootout, but like they were able to score with them. Justin Herbert didn't look that bad, even though they might not have Eckler this week, because they said he's going to be hurt. I still got the Chargers winning this game. I still think the Chargers can pull out a victory. Yeah. Okay, so on to the 425, 4:05 p.m. games. First one, I got the Niners and the Rams. I obviously have the Niners. I think the Niners are a more well overall team. Obviously from top to bottom. Matthew Stafford is nothing to joke about. Obviously, Aaron Donald is still that dude. But yeah, man, I just think the Niners are a better overall team. Like, yes, the Rams have a better quarterback, but the Niners have a better everything else. And you saw that last week against the Pittsburgh Steelers. All right, on to the next game, Giants Cardinals. I got the Giants. I got the Giants winning that game because Daniel Jones needs a bounce back. And oh my God, I forgot his name. The Giants head coach, if he does not get into Daniel Jones and they lose back-to-back weeks to not only a Cowboys team, which I completely understand. When you lose to a Cowboys team, that's fine. Like, they're just an overall great team. But if you lose to one of the bottom tier teams in the Arizona Cardinals, bro, we have an issue. Like, there's a big issue. So I don't see that they won't win, but like, bro, it's crazy. It would be nuts to me if they lost. Is it Brian Dable? Is Brian Dable the head coach for the New York Giants? I'm on a podcast and I'm drawing a blank, which is crazy to me. But yeah, like they have to do better. The Giants have to do better. The Giants definitely need this bounce back game. They definitely need to come out with a win. On to the next game. I spoke about them a little bit. I spoke about this matchup already. Jets Cowboys. I obviously had the Cowboys winning. Like I said, I had the Cowboys winning whether we did or we didn't or whether we did or didn't have Aaron Rodgers. The Cowboys defense is just too good, man. Our offensive line is still trying to work out some kinks. Mekhi Becton looked pretty good in week one. Obviously, we're gonna need to see some improvement still. Whenever, like, as long as he's healthy and he plays all year, I think we're gonna be fine. But that front seven for Dallas is just fucking insane. Oh, sorry. It's just insane, man. Like, and then not even that, not even just them, like their corners are great. Their overall defense is just great, man. So, and yeah, and on the offensive end too, you have Dak Prescott, who's not a scrub quarterback. I think I had Dak at 10 for QBs, like 10 or 9. But when you look at that, like they have them, they have I forgot their tight end's name. I always forget that. But they also have a number one guy in CeeDee Lamb, a number 2 in Brandon Cooks, a number one running back in Tony Pollard, which Tony Pollard looked great last week. He killed for me in fantasy. But yeah, as much as I love the Jets, I got the Cowboys winning this game. Just talk about the Jets real quick. That defense is so top tier. If there is ever a way we're still in this game, is because of the defense. Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed, the Williams brothers, like, bro, like the only reason we were Whitehead, even the only reason we were in that game is because of the defense in week 1 against the Buffalo Bills. Our defense is probably either going to be top 3. Yeah, top 3. Maybe not 3, maybe not 2. But like we're gonna have a great defense. The defense is gonna be one of the main reasons why we're still in game. We're gonna be in games this year, even with this tough schedule. So yeah, but I still got the Cowboys winning this game. Next game, I got Commanders and the Broncos. I do got the Broncos winning this game, especially after last week losing to the Las Vegas Raiders. I definitely think that Russell Wilson will have a bounce back game. I don't think Russell Wilson played bad, but the offense did look pretty productive. So, but the Commanders' defense is nothing to slouch about. Like, Sam Howell looked pretty good in his debut. They got the dub. Um, what's his name? Yeah, the defense looks good. So this game could really go either way. But I do want to give the edge to the Broncos because as much as I think Sam Howell will do good, Drew will love me for saying this, but I have a little more trust in Sean Payton and Russell Wilson. So I think the Broncos are probably gonna win this game. All right, man. And on to Sunday Night Football. Miami Dolphins versus the New England Patriots. Tua coming off of his great Week 1 performance. I don't think it happens again because this Patriots defense is nothing to slouch about, man. They're really good. They had a dogfight in Week 1 against the in a dogfight Week 1 against the Eagles. Patriots are good. You saw my guy Kendrick Bourne played really well last week. Mac Jones looked pretty good. But the Dolphins are nothing to sleep on. Obviously, they got a guy in Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, Raheem Mostert, Tua Tagovailoa. Like the defense is no joke either. When Jalen Ramsey comes back, they have Bradley Chubb, all that. But I don't know, man. This is gonna be tough. I think I got the Patriots winning this one, honestly, because I don't think Tua's gonna put up those same type of numbers. The Patriots defense is better than the Chargers defense, so I think the defense will definitely help slow Tua down and slow down Tyreek. But if Mac Jones could really do his thing, Kendrick Bourne could maybe have another week like last week. They have Juju Smith-Schuster, which I completely forgot about. But Juju's no scrub. Like, I got the Patriots winning this game, man. And then they have a doubleheader on Monday Night Football. Saints-Panthers. Just talk about this one real quick. Saints-Panthers. I got the Saints winning this one. The Panthers are really not that crazy. But I do like the kid, Bryce Young. He looked okay in Week 1 in his rookie debut. But yeah, man, you know how I feel about the Saints. Y'all know how I feel about Derek Carr. Derek Carr, one of the main reasons why I'm a Raider fan. I love that guy. I think he's a great quarterback. I think they're good. I think they're gonna have a good year. Michael Thomas looked good last week, so hopefully Michael Thomas is starting to get back to maybe like a smaller version of himself, but still hopefully being a top echelon receiver in this league. So I'm going with the Saints. And then you got the Browns versus the Steelers. As much as I like the Steelers, I'm still going to Browns because even though the Browns won last week, Deshaun Watson did not have a good game. I think the weather definitely impacted him too. He saw a lot of open looks that he just could not make. That ball either went flat or he overshot him. I think he definitely addresses that this week in practice. The weather's obviously going to be better. I think we're definitely going to really see what Deshaun's going to be like this week on Monday Night Football. I cannot wait to watch. But yeah, I got the Browns winning against the Steelers. All right, and just to go over my Week 2 predictions, obviously for TikTok, and just to talk about it at the end, go through it real fast. All right, man. Well, these are my Week 2 NFL predictions for Sunday and Monday. On Sunday, I got the Ravens beating the Bengals. I got the Lions beating the Seahawks. I got the Colts beating the Texans. I got the Bears beating the Buccaneers. I got the Jags beating the Chiefs. The Packers beating the Falcons. The Bills beating the Raiders. And I got the Chargers beating the Titans. Now, for Sunday afternoon games, I got the Niners beating the Rams. The Giants beating the Cardinals. The Cowboys beating the Jets. The Broncos beating the Commanders. Sunday Night Football. It's going to be a great one. I got the Patriots beating the Dolphins. And the doubleheader on Monday Night Football, I got the Saints beating the Panthers. and I got the Browns beating the Steelers. Cool. And on to the last segment of the show, man. My other the rest of the sports world was going on. Talk a little more college football. Just to talk about not really college football, but Colorado, man, went 2-0 against Nebraska. They ended up winning 36-14. They looked a little rocky in the first half, but they really turned it up in the second. Shadir Sanders, 3 for 42, 393 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Xavier Weaver, 10 receptions, 170 yards, and he averaged 17 yards a catch, and he had 1 touchdown. And then just to talk about one of the main guys that gets a lot of attention for the Heisman Trophy, Travis Hunter. He had 3 receptions, 73 yards. He had an average of 24 yards per catch. Obviously, it's only 3 catches, but still. They looked really good last week. Like I said, they had a rocky start in the beginning, but they really started to show on the end. They really started to come into their own in the second half. Man, Shadir Sanders is so fun to watch, bro. When you watch, when he scrambled, when he made that play, when he scrambled outside, almost went out of bounds, threw it to his running back. I think they took away the 2-point conversion, but the fact that he was able to escape the pocket, make that throw on the run across the body, oh my God, that kid's gonna be a really nice NFL prospect, man. I'm telling you, he's gonna be so fun to watch in the NFL. And last but not least, my WNBA topic of the show, man. WNBA playoffs has just started this week. I believe they had their first game last night and Wednesday. Just to talk about the matchups real quick, you got the number 1 seed, the Las Vegas Aces, against the number 8 seed, the Chicago Sky. I probably got the Aces winning that one. The Aces are so good, man. But don't sleep on the Sky. They got girls like Kalia Cooper, Courtney Williams. They're going to be a fun team to watch. I think it's going to go a little back and forth. The next matchup, starting tonight, my New York Liberty against the Washington Mystics. We do always have a problem with the Mystics. They got girls like Ellie Deladon. She's really good. You got my girl, Kira Austin, and then I forgot the other girl's name that she used to play for the Sparks. That's going to be a good one. First game tonight, 7:30 at the Barclays Center. Make sure y'all tune in, watch the New York Liberty. My girls, and we were just on the cover of Slam Magazine. The whole starting 5. Courtney Vandersloot, Sabrina Ionescu, Betnaji Laney, Brianna Stewart, and John Cole Jones, man. Make sure y'all go watch the New York Liberty tonight, man. I gotta cop that shirt. Just to talk about the next matchup, the Connecticut Sun versus the Minnesota Lynx. I believe the Connecticut Sun won the first game. They won by a landslide, I think it was. They really killed them. I think they beat them by 30. Alyssa Thomas, honestly, now that the season's over, I'm going to be honest with y'all. Alyssa Thomas is my vote for MVP, man. Alyssa Thomas, I said it on a TikTok earlier. I hope y'all are following on TikTok so y'all can see me do a couple effects, which I think are cool. Talk about, do some stitches. I post a couple segments on there. Hope y'all following on the TikTok. Make sure y'all follow on all social media platforms. But just talk about the Connecticut Sun, man. Like I said, Alyssa Thomas for MVP, bro. When I went to the Connecticut Sun versus the New York Liberty during the season, New York Liberty won in overtime. I think I talked about this last episode. But Alyssa Thomas is really the motive that really keeps this Connecticut Sun team together, bro. She's so good on both ends of the court. She's really that girl. She gets everybody involved. She gets herself involved. She's not afraid to fight on the glass, get to the rim, get to the free throw line, make great passes and everything. She just makes everybody around her look better. That's why I think Alyssa Thomas is my vote for the most valuable player of the WNBA this year. And just to talk about the 4 to 5 matchup, the Dallas Wings versus the Atlanta Dream. I do have the Dallas Wings winning this matchup. The Dallas Wings are so fun to watch. especially with the girl Sabali. She's a unicorn. She plays so well. You got my girl Arike. I just don't know how to say her last name, but the Dallas Wings are a force to be reckoned with. And the Atlanta Dream haven't been to the playoffs in a while, so they might be a little bit rusty. But I want to see what happens, man. Just to end off the show, man, WNBA playoffs going on. Make sure y'all watching that. If y'all not watching football's only 3 days out the week. So any day y'all not watching football, make sure y'all go tune into the WNBA. And that's going to wrap it up for episode 7 of the Trophy Room podcast. Make sure y'all follow the page on all social media platforms. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like the video. Comment on the video. And most importantly, tell your friends, man. Appreciate y'all.